seeing a lot of videos on TikTok right now about the New York Times article that just came out on the topic of money dysmorphia. Basically how all of Gen Z thinks that they're in a bad place financially, even if they aren't. I believe the point of the article was about how even if Gen Z is in a place financially where they can cover all of their basic necessities and pay to live, still feel like they're behind financially because of what they see on social media. They're comparing themselves to their peers who feel like their peers are making a similar income level than they are, but they're further ahead financially, or to someone in the same age group that's further along than they are. And as someone that does share the finances behind their lifestyle on here, I want to kind of talk about that, because the last thing that I would ever want to do is to make someone feel like they're behind or feel like they have to spend more money to keep up with a certain lifestyle. Like, I'm not saying I went to Coachella last weekend, I definitely didn't, but they're saying like somewhere of 60% of Coachella tickets were bought on a buy now pay later. People are financing things to keep up with their peers because they're seeing everyone else go to Coachella. They want to go to Coachella too, or whatever it may be. I want to make this so abundantly clear. I would not be able to afford the lifestyle that I have if I was still working my corporate job. I've been earning self-employment income on top of my corporate job since 2022. At the end of 2023, I removed the corporate job completely, and since then, I've been making money through a mix of being a content creator, making money from like brand deals, affiliates, freelancer through gigs like UGC and social media management. As a business owner, I sell 2 products right now. I don't share my top line business revenue with anyone. I haven't since I became totally self-employed. So many people in my personal life follow me on here, but I make multiple 6 figures, and I would not have the lifestyle that I have if I was still only working my corporate job with my $60K a year salary. When I was only working my corporate job making $60K a year, I lived in a college frat house with 2 boy roommates. My rent was $650 a month. I didn't pay for a dog. I wasn't really traveling. Still, even to this day, try to keep my expenses relatively reasonable. I try to keep my spending at around $5,000 a month, but again, if I was still working my corporate job, I didn't even make $5,000 a month after taxes. I made like $3,800 a month after taxes. So all of that is to say, if you're seeing people's lifestyles online and you're thinking that you should be able to afford that too, you're catching yourself saying, I should be able to afford that because I'm seeing everyone else able to afford that. Probably don't know exactly how they're affording it, and they're probably in a little bit of a different situation than you are. Also, if that does motivate you to increase your income, that's totally okay too. So that's why I was super motivated to increase my income after college. I knew if I increased my income, I could save more, I could invest more. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a, well, they can afford it and I can't afford it, and that's that.